All right, kiddos, I'm going to hop on here and I'm going to read this passage to you. Again, I'm going to have to go kind of quickly just to make sure I can get it read, so follow along with me. A kitten. When James thought about his life, he had to admit it wasn't too bad. He had parents who loved him, a little sister who could be annoying, but he loved her, and a comfortable home too. There was always some kind of food on the table, and even if it wasn't fancy, it was filling. The one thing he wanted, though, was a kitten. James had never had a pet, but though it looked like fun, his cousin Leah had a golden retriever who knew how to sit, fetch, and play dead. His neighbor Julio had a parakeet that sang to him every morning and sat on his finger as he walked around. His best friend Eric had a little goat that was white with brown spots. The goat followed Eric everywhere he went. Getting a kitten was always on James's mind. He kept asking his parents for one, but they wouldn't give him a definite answer. They said things like, maybe one day, or we'll think about it. But they never said, let's go to the rescue center and find one today. One day, James decided to create a video to help convince his parents to get a cat. He asked his sister, Elizabeth, to help, and she agreed. In the first part of the video, James listed all of the reasons a cat would be a great addition to the family. In the second part of the video, his sister held up signs, one after the other, about how they would be responsible for the cat. They talked about feeding the kitten and giving it water, giving it attention every day, and cleaning up after it. In the last part of the video, James and Elizabeth tried to look their sweetest, and together they said, "We would love to have a new kitten, please." That night after dinner, James told his mom and dad they had something to show them. James asked his mom to borrow her laptop, and he played the video on it. His parents smiled and said what a great video it was and that they'd consider getting a cat one day. The next day, James felt a bit gloomy. He tried to snap out of it, but he was disappointed. Maybe he'd never get a cat. Maybe his parents would never agree to it. He decided not to mention it anymore. He didn't want to get his hopes up. A few weeks later, it was James's birthday. His parents planned a small family dinner. His dad baked a Texas sheet cake, which was one of the family's birthday traditions. After dinner, James opened his gifts. He was thankful for each one and couldn't wait to play with everything. Then his mom surprised him and said there was one more present. She took out her laptop and played a video that she and my dad had made. It started with my mom listing all the reasons why cats were good pets. Then, my dad held up signs, one after another, about all the things you need to do to take care of a cat. It ended with a picture of a calico. Then my mom and dad said, "Meet your new kittens." I felt like crying as my mom and dad went to the other room and brought out our new kittens. Two of them. My dad told us that the kittens were brother and sister and that they had gotten them from the rescue center. I felt elated. I know I'll never forget this birthday. It's one of my favorite memories.